there is a small portion of people that are waking up and realizing that the content that we take in sometimes is just a little too toxic, or just not good for, because there's no barriers in
Mm-hmm.
social media when it comes to what kids see and what adults see. I think YouTube is the only social media that has like YouTube for kids and stuff like that. But as far as like Instagram, Facebook, and everything else, Snapchat, there aren't any boundaries around this stuff. So all the stuff that we see, kids have access to it too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
That's scary.
it is scary because there's certain things that they should not, you know, take in at this age, because I don't think that their minds are there to process it
Mm-hmm.
correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there definitely needs to be some sort of boundaries put in place. But I think that's where we're headed.
Hi everyone, welcome once again to your favorite channel where we get to talk about leadership, communication, and networking. On this show, at this very moment, we're going to be having a special edition because we have a special guest in our midst. She is originally from Antigua, an American. She was born and raised in Lefrak City, Queens. She's currently finishing up her degree in biotechnology, and she enjoys writing, traveling, spending time with family and friends, as well as shopping. She is a health enthusiast. She loves to work out, take pilot yoga classes, cook vegan meals, and also blog about healthy eating habits on her free time. She's always looking for ways to improve her well being, and also anyone who's interested in checking out a page, feel free to go to at vegan in the journey on Instagram. At this point, I'd like you all to please join me in welcoming Alimah Hil.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
It's pretty interesting, the fact that you are about to complete your degree in biotechnology. First, that sounds pretty. It sounds like it's one of those, this high tech, this difficult, challenging course. And how has the journey been for you so far, all these years?
It has been very long, tough. It's not an easy major, but it's very interesting. It's a very upcoming and very useful degree, especially during these times. Especially like, for example, with the entire coronavirus, there are various biotech companies behind developing these vaccines and everything. So it's definitely very interesting, and it's an eye-opening educational career that I've been having within this major. And I'm like really excited to, almost be finished and start my career with in biotech.
Well,
So
congratulations in advance.
thank
And
you.
tell us a bit more about yourself. Tell us about your childhood and how you've grown into becoming the person that you are right now. This health enthusiast, this fitness enthusiast, and how does everything? Just tell us a brief about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so when I was young, really young, um, I wouldn't say I always had like a healthy diet, because where I grew up, there weren't many, advocates for, eating healthy and being healthy. So all the kids in the neighborhood, we ate the regular, chips, soda, snacks. That's just what we did. But I've also played sports and everything like that. So in junior high school and high school, I think playing sports definitely has had an impact on keeping me in shape. But it wasn't until maybe I would say I got a little older, Well, it started at home, actually. My mom, actually, when we were younger, she took us to Whole Foods one time because she said that there were healthier options. And when we tried it, we thought it was nasty. We didn't want to eat it. We thought the food was not as good because we were so used to eating the junk, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
as I got older, I started trying to eat healthier, and the more healthier I ate, I no longer wanted to eat those, unhealthy snacks and everything like that. So it's honestly been like a journey and a learning experience. You think that you really need one and, all these unhealthy things, but once you make that switch, you realize that's not how you're supposed to eat. And you also realize there's a change in your entire how you feel, how you think, and everything. Once you switch over to a better diet, a lot of things about yourself changes, and it's good change enough for you not to even want to go back to eating like unhealthy and stuff like that. So that's how I've gotten to this point. It's all been a journey, a learning
Talking
experience.
about
The most I can say.
this whole social media thing, because I want us to talk about how it impacts mental health, because that's one of the things that I want us to really talk about. And
Mm-hmm.
before we go into that, could you give us like the basis of open and possible hidden mental health case scenarios?
Well, I've actually went through that during this quarantine, thing. Like, I knew wasn't feeling my best,
I
and I
too.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what to do about it. So at first it was like I just kind of just held it in and just kind of just said, you know what, a few more weeks of this, and we'll be back. But I realized after a few weeks we weren't back to how we were going. So I said, what's the best thing I can do right now? And I thought, I just have to be honest with myself. And I know that I need to speak to someone, and not just a friend, but a professional that could really understand what I'm going through, because many of my friends might be going through the same thing, and like me, they might not know how to communicate it either. So I actually did seek out professional help, and I actually got like it was actually an ad I saw on social media. It was like, what do you call it, like basically therapy, but like through online, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
think the
signed up for it.
colleges also provide
Yeah.
options for
Yeah,
that.
and also the colleges did have stuff like that too,
Mhm.
but I couldn't, I don't know, I just didn't feel comfortable going to my college for it. So I
Sounds
just
like
felt like I
me.
needed like outside help. So I saw this ad and I signed up for it, and I still to this day work with the same therapist, and I've been doing so much better. Like, so at first we started like seeing each other once a week, but then she noticed some improvements, so we started seeing each other twice a week, and now we're only seeing each other 3 times a week. So I've made a huge amount of improvement just by taking that step and actually talking to someone. So
So, do you have any other friend or someone that was close to you that went through the same thing that you had this discussion with? Like,
yeah, actually
kind of similar?
a few of my friends who told me that, they were like going through it, and a lot of them did not seek out, help, because it's hard for people to really sit there and like say like, I need help. A lot of them turn to other things that did help though, like, going for walks, journaling, listening to music, or talking to a close friend or family. People have their different coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Going to a therapist helped for me. Journaling might help for someone else. Listening to music and reading books. There's so many different methods that can help. There's so many like motivational speeches on YouTube and everything like that that people can watch,
Hmm.
just to help them get through what they're feeling. So many of my friends did turn to those options as well to cope.
Interesting. And did you think there was a portion of being online or social media that's, led to that feeling of being stressed or tired at that point in time?
Yes, I feel like, okay, so I feel like not only was the pressure of like switching from school, like in-person school to online, not only
Yes.
that, but like also being on Instagram, you just see so much. and it's like you're taking in so much. Your brain is just taking in so much. So it's just like, oh my God, and it's like some things that you saw were positive, but it also made you feel a little like, oh my goodness, like, am I doing something wrong? Like a lot of people were starting businesses, you know, podcasts, blog. A lot of people were doing so many great things, and it's like I started to look at myself like, am I supposed to be doing this too? Like, what am like? So I'm like, okay, I got to do school. I got to do something. Not like it was just so much, and I
Too
just
much
felt like so
information.
much pressure. It was just like so much pressure. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, like what am I supposed to be doing? And it's just like I had to just take a step back and like, just focus on what's truly important to you. Don't let this get
They had the
too,
clarity.
yeah, don't let this get too into you. And I know that like, finishing school was like the most important thing for me. So that's what I just channeled all my energy into doing, and kind of just taking a step back from social media. Cause yeah, it was just so much going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I can remember last year it was like it was all in your face, like a billions of information and everything happening all over the world, and you're going through this breaking news, and there's another breaking news, and it was like breaking news all over the place. I'm like, okay, which of this is the breaking news?
Exactly, with the news, and
I was like,
it was crazy.
it's crazy, and it impacts not just you, it's everyone. If you're going out, even if you're like on the public bus, and you could see it on people's faces, everyone is like,
yes.
everyone's just looking around like, okay, we gotta chill.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I think that was also the period when, like, the mid 2020, when we were in the heat of the COVID. It was crazy, and I think for some reason social media played a huge role in causing a mass hysteria. Now,
yes.
I don't know if it played a huge role in causing solutions, but it played a huge role in causing problems.
It
Now,
did.
I think it also did some solutions, but of course, you could see, because the way we are wired, if you look at the news today, for example, they would rather tell the bad news, because the bad news keeps circulating, and when people watch the news, they want to know what's the bad thing happening. Because I don't know, maybe it's just the way we are wired, because if it's only the good news, then we're like, we feel safe, we're like, we're not too careful, we know that everything is good, so we don't pay too much attention. So when people watch the news, they want to see, okay, where's the tornado happening, where's the fire outbreaking, where's the riot. So they don't know, so they know where not to go to, so they know how to be more careful. So people subconsciously want to see those negative news, not because they love negativity, but they just want to be more careful in their daily routine. And then I think the news outlets, the social media, they're now like, okay, you want to see this? They now started bombarding everyone with billions of those, and it's like you're now all over the place. And I think that played a huge role in people's mental health in general. And I think the whole cause of mental awareness became so important. You know what's funny? I think it was beginning of this year. I was thinking about, I wish I had studied psychology while I was in college, because you would, or maybe being a therapist would be like one of the most requested job in the near future, because a lot of people are going through so much stuff, and a lot of people need someone to talk to that can like help them navigate their way around all this pressure that they're going through, all this, hysteria that they're going through, this implosion. It's like you're imploding. There's so many things going on your mind, and there is this need to just quiet your mind and quiet that noise, and just just focus on what matters. And I think you did a very good job, and that's one of the reasons why we have you here, so you could narrate that experience. And if people can see that it's possible for one, then they will definitely know that it's possible for them as well. So I think what you just shared is very powerful, it's tremendous, and it's vital. And I hope someone out there is listening to this and using this to as a wake-up call to go out there and start focusing and reaching out for help where it's necessary, or where it's much more needed. So my next question is, where are we headed? This is there's no right or wrong answer to this though.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you think we're headed as a society towards, as far as technology and mental awareness, is concerned, and we keep expanding? Where do you think we're headed as a society, as far as the impact of social media on mental health? Where are we headed? Are we headed towards seeking solution to this, or are we just are we just deep diving into this hysteria and no one is even thinking of, this is becoming too much and we gotta like pull ourselves back and just have this moment of clarity?
Right. Well, that's a good question. Because right now there's a lot of concern about what's in the media, because a lot of kids are watching, so I think that what I've been seeing is there is a small portion of people that are waking up and realizing that the content that we take in sometimes is just a little too toxic, or just not good for, because there's no barriers in social media when it comes to what kids see and what adults see. I think YouTube is the only social media that has like YouTube for kids and stuff like that. But as far as like Instagram, Facebook, and everything else, Snapchat, there aren't any boundaries around this stuff. So all the stuff that we see, kids have access to it too. So I think that
That's scary.
it is scary, because there's certain things that they should not, take in at this age, because I don't think that their minds are there to process it correctly. So I think that there definitely needs to be some sort of boundaries put in place. But I think that's where we're headed in society with
we're looking at
technology. Yes, I think we are headed in that direction. But I think it's going to be a long road. I don't think there's any simple solution out there right now. But I think down the line, there will definitely be something put in place, because like, I feel like it's like that kind of with everything. Like even in my major, biotechnology, there's also something called bioethics, which is in place to make sure that the things that are, being created with biotechnology are not like harmful or, what's the word, like not like inhumane or just destructive to like, humans, and very invasive in privacy and stuff like that. So there are like things in my major, I can say, that they try to put boundaries around, and I can only hope for the same for social media, because we as humans have free will. Like we can do anything, there's no boundaries on what we can do. So I think it's up to us to really sit back and take a look at everything and like, you know what, this is not okay. Like even though we could, like exactly. Like even though we can upload this video, should we upload this video? You know what I'm saying?
I like that, right? If I was at the church and you're on the podium, I'd be like, yeah. I mean, what you just said reminded me of a video I saw once online. It was of an entrepreneur, a popular entrepreneur. His name is David, and he said, in today's age, it's much more difficult to be a 20 or early 20-year-old folk than how it was back then, because even though today you could see people online, like you said, so many things are happening and people are doing podcasting and they're releasing music, it's so easy to be a millionaire in today's age. You could be 15 years old and just click a button and you're doing forex trading and now you're a millionaire. You could you could be 10 years old and like do something crazy and it goes viral, and now you have 5 million followers. But the thing is, can you mentally handle that?
Right.
And that was why he said that it's much more difficult to be in your early 20s now, because you're not yet fully developed cognitively, but then you have all those things being thrown at you. And just to confirm what you just said, that we need all these healthy boundaries. But the question that I don't even know who's going to answer this is, who's going to set these healthy boundaries? Who's going to set these healthy boundaries? Who's going to, because there are some websites, for example, if you go on some websites, they could tell you, are you 18 or older? All you have to do is just click 18, not 18. But how many people,
Exactly. I've been doing that since I was 12.
Yeah,
like,
it
they're
doesn't
not
stop
stopping
anything.
nobody.
But what the company is actually worried about at that point is, if you click on it, it's on you. They're not saying it because they care about you. They're saying it because if anything happens, and then at least you won't come, because they'll be like, this website has it there. Are you 18? And you clicked, So it's so many things, and that's where the ethics comes into.
Exactly.
And, I'm going to ask you questions because you're from a Caribbean background. And I just want to hear your opinion. I just want to hear a response on this. When you have your kids, would you allow them to be on social media while they're young? Or would you be like the typical African Caribbean parents and be like, no social media?
Yeah, that's a hard one, because, I always say that, times are changing, and I don't want to have my kids behind because I can't get with the times. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I would hope that in the future, when I do have kids, there are some kind of boundaries in place by then. But if not, I would still allow them, but I would just be very involved in what they're doing and try to monitor it as much as possible, because I don't want, there's a lot of good things on social media, even for kids. And I don't want mine to miss out, or, be the oddball and have no clue how to work this, that, and the third, because I can't get with the times, But I can say that I probably would let them get on, but I would just monitor it very heavily, the best that I can,
True. This reminded me of a documentary that was released recently on the social media about how social media does things to people. And a lot of people are like, social media is horrible. It's this. The company wants you to be addicted. They want you to be hooked on their product. And it made me think. And this is what you just said, is everything just kind of played out in my head, that the truth is, every company that has a business model, the business model of every company is, one, to make profits, and two, to keep making profits. And in order to do that, they need to get you to be addicted to their products. So if a company is selling a cell phone, they want you to be addicted to the cell phone, and they will do everything to get you addicted to it. If a company like Facebook, if they are creating their product, they want you to keep coming back on Facebook. Same with Instagram, same with every other social media company. And do we blame this company, or do we as parents and guardians and people, should we hold ourselves accountable to certain boundaries? For, just like you said, for the kids, should we be the one to set those boundaries, or should we tell the companies, no, stop creating Facebook, stop getting kids addicted to social media? Or do you think it's the responsibility of the parent to be like, okay, you can go on Facebook for 45 minutes and then it's bedtime? Who do you think should shoulder more of the responsibility in this case?
Well, I can say that I think it's more of a self-accountability thing. I don't think that there has ever been a time where we could ever count on, capitalism to look out for their consumers. Capitalism is capitalism. They're gonna do exactly. They're gonna do whatever it takes to get profit, and I feel like if you realize that, you will be okay in the long run, because it's something you could just remind yourself of every time you feel yourself getting caught up. Like, I know this is just the capitalism trap, I guess, to get me hooked, addicted, and to start buying stuff online. But so that's why I feel like if you just have the mindset and know what it is from the jump, it'll be harder to, catch you as a consumer. So because like I said, exactly. So capitalism is gonna look out for capitalism. They're gonna try and sell you whatever they're trying to sell. They're not concerned with your health, your mental health. Like, exactly. You have to be concerned with your mental health. You have to be concerned with your child's mental health. Like it definitely, like they say, like it starts with you. Exactly. You have to be accountable for, what you read, what you watch, what you take in, so.
That's very powerful and insightful as well, because, it even though it's hard, but I think parents, for example, should realize that your kids can easily get addicted to this thing, because social media is like a drug, like cigarettes. Or one without a one inside, because every pack of cigarettes you grab has a one inside, but social media doesn't have a one inside, and it's highly addictive. And that is why you see a lot of kids go into it. I've even heard cases of young people doing things to themselves to the point of even committing suicide because of just looking at other people's lifestyle, comparing their lives, and they do so many things. So I think it's important for parents and guardians to just sort of create this healthy boundaries. I agree. I don't want to use the word impose because I'm African, so I'm gonna be a bit American now. I create this healthy boundaries. I was gonna say the African way, I would like enforce the healthy boundaries.
You must do it.
But yeah, let me hear a little. I'm really an American here. But yeah, I think that's I think we headed in a very good place. Like you said, knowledge is power. It's about doing the research, knowing the truth about capitalism, that they won't look out for you, and you got to look out for yourself. When you know the truth, then at least, like they say, the truth will set you free. The truth will equip you. You could better raise your children. You could better help your friends. You could better educate your family, and let them know. I think it's just so important to tell the truth. That's where the ethics thing comes in, because you even the companies should say things like, just like the cigarette companies say, smokers are liable to die. They need to start having it on maybe social media as well.
Yeah.
This social media is highly addictive. And you need to be able to control yourself at some point. But a lot of these companies really don't care about that thing. I think they don't, because the government could come in.
Exactly. But there is stuff going on right now with, like, Mark Zuckerberg and the government, and, trying to actually fix kind of these kind of problems, But again, there's like a 50-50 thing. Some people think that, it's these companies. Some people think that it's self-accountability. So it's just like there needs to be some kind of common ground where, both parties could come together and find a solution.
Awesome. So do you have people that you look up to that really, inspire you based on what you're doing, based on your industry? And also this would be like in the field of biotechnology one, and also fitness, and maybe you have people that inspire you to keep going on in this journey, including vegan as well.
Well, I don't really have any gurus. I just get, honestly, like you said, there's some positive things. There's so many positive things on social media. So honestly, I just do, like, the visuals that I see when I'm on Instagram of people eating healthy and, working out, and how great a lot of that's another thing. Women like, you know, Jennifer Lopez and, you know, what's her name? I forgot. Last name is Murphy. Eddie Murphy's like ex-wife. I forgot her name. But it's like these older women that, you
Yeah, I
know,
know
have they have
her.
they have like, you know, healthy eating habits,
Mm-hmm.
and they look really good, you know, at
Mm-hmm.
their age. And I feel like stuff like that definitely, you know, makes me want to continue my health journey as well. As far as, you know, anyone else, I can say, um, I don't really have many gurus. I like Michelle Obama. Um, she's very brilliant. I really like her.
Do you have books that you read other than your school book that you would like to recommend to the audience, especially as far as mental health or personal growth is concerned?
Yes, actually, let me go get it because I forgot the name. It's right here. Hold on.
Oh,
This book right here. It's called The Ultimate Secrets of Total Self-Confidence by Dr. Robert Anthony. It
okay.
is so good. It's like my favorite book. It actually is the book that made me wake up and, you know, be more mental health conscious and conscious of who I am. It's a really good book. Like it speaks to you so easily. You know, it makes you not feel bad about everything that happens. You know, it really does make you feel confident. If you realize, you know, one thing about when most people feel bad about themselves is because of the things that the bad talk that they hear in their mind, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But once you start to address that it's just bad talk, and you can have good talk just as much as you can have bad talk,
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely, things just get better from there on. So a lot of this book is just, it's so good. I'm telling you guys, you would
Ultimate
love it.
Self Confidence by
the
Dr. Robert.
the Ultimate Secrets of Self-Confidence by Dr. Robert Anthony. Really good.
Awesome. Awesome.
Definitely recommend this.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And how about movies or documentaries?
Oh, so many. Oh my goodness.
All right,
So
give us
many.
three. Three.
Okay. Um, well, just any kind of documentaries that I like,
Yeah, one
or
that's really kind of was like life transforming for you, that made you, just like you said, the book did,
mhm,
made you wake up. Yeah, do you have any
mhm.
documentary that you think did that to you as well?
Um, yeah, I can't. It's so hard for me to think of any right now, but I can say I
Yeah,
watched it.
that's the adver-
I'm getting.
that's the
I'm
effect of too much information we just spoke about.
I know. I
Too
know.
much.
There's so many. There's actually one about I think it's like Facebook and Instagram. It's on Netflix actually. It's a documentary basically about how like social media is having an
Yeah.
impact
Mm-hmm.
on, you know, mental health and
I think
everything
it's
like
called the
that. I'm
social
sure
network. Let me
the
see.
social network, yeah. And there's another, the social dilemma. That one's
Social
good
dilemma, yeah,
too.
social dilemma.
Yeah, that's
Social
good.
dilemma.
Um, I'm not sure of how um into like, you know, American culture people are in, but
Mhm.
13 is a really good documentary too. Like I've seen a lot um based on that.
Mhm.
What else? Hmm. There's so many documentaries that I've seen that I can't even think right now on the
How
spot.
about a movie or a TV
A
show?
movie or a TV. Oh. I
I
don't
know
know the
you
TV show
you're,
that I
you're
watch.
doing
I don't
you're
know.
doing schoolwork.
The TV shows that I watch. I would say okay. They're science fiction, but I feel like these kind of shows are like hidden messages that everyone should watch, you know, just to see like
Mm-hmm.
what really goes on. But
Mm-hmm.
the first show is called Manifest, and the second show is called Debris. That's a new show.
What other stuff do you do during your leisure moments, and what other talents do you have?
Um, A hidden talent that I have it's a hobby too. I like to do it when it's nice outside. Is I skate. That's a little something. I like to
Okay,
skate.
awesome.
Um, yeah. What else? I like to paint and draw too. A lot of people don't know I can paint and draw. Um,
I think that's a very
and yeah,
powerful thing to know how to do, to be able to sketch.
yeah,
Because there's something on your mind and you're able to put it down on paper. That's a very
yeah. And I didn't even realize I was able to draw until like I would say fourth semester in college. I took like a art class,
Mhm.
and I was like, wow, I'm pretty good at this, you know.
Yeah,
So it was kind of like a
it's
hidden.
almost like a psychological disorder.
It is.
There's this guy that he's autistic and he is so great at sketching. So what he does is he will get into an helicopter and just have like an aerial view of the city for about 10 minutes and just drive all over the city. And then he will just go into his art studio and he
Oh
will
wow.
draw a sketch of the entire aerial view of the city. And this guy
What?
is autistic. And I was like, what did I just see? I
That's
was just
crazy.
Googling. I think, yeah, I was Googling superpowers, real life superpowers that people have. And I was
Right.
studying about this, and majority of them are psychological disorder. Like I read about this condition called hyperthermia, whereby people have
Hyper what?
hyperthermia.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so hyperthermia is excess. Hyper is excess, thermia is memory. So these people are considered to have excess memory to the
Oh
point that they don't
wow.
forget anything. So they have a perfect autobiographical memory. So it's almost like a superpower, but
Yeah, that
it's a
is. That
psychological
is.
disorder because a lot of them had it due to something in their amygdala, like an accident, and then they hit their head, and now they can't forget things. Um, there's so many things. There was this video I saw of this young lady, and it was like, I don't know if there was a graphical editing, but
Mhm.
she came out of the bus and I think someone was scolding her, and she just kind of, there was no sound, so they was just saying like she did something telepathically to the person, and she kind of, I don't know, maybe she yelled and she did a hand, and the guy just jumped all the way back. So they're like, she has a superpower. I was just
She has to.
I was just
What?
googling this multiple like superpower because I'm a filmmaker, so I was doing extensive research on what are like the
Mhm.
most incredible thing people do. People have so many ridiculous things. Yeah, I was just doing a research because I was trying to build a character that has a real life superpower, and I was just doing
Okay.
this thing. So that's why I like asking the question like, other than what you do or what we know you for, do you have any other hidden talent? Because I know there's so many people. There was this interesting one I read about as well. It's called synesthesia.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and the people that have the condition, they call them synesthetes. And what they do
Okay.
is their sensory pathways kind of function together. So they say, um, like the way you're looking right now, and you have your sense, your vision sense working alongside with your, let's say, with your taste bud. So you
Oh
can
wow.
like almost see the color red and also tell people how the color red tastes. So this is it's like there's this lady that had synesthesia and she's a musician and she plays the keyboard and she tells people, I don't just play the keyboard, I can see it and I can taste it. And she was being real. She
Wow.
wasn't just saying it because she was having this euphoric feeling. It was because she had this condition called synesthesia. So she was but so there's so many things people have. So for me it's always interesting to just go out and just talk to people and like what hidden talent do you have? Because I know there's so many wonderful people out there with so many
That
um
is interesting.
abilities.
Wow.
Yeah, I just like deep diving into unusual stuff about people.
Wow. No, hey, I'm telling you, that's from the two shows that I recommended, Manifest and Debris.
Mm-hmm.
If you maybe you should even look into it. It might give you some ideas. It's really like
I'm gonna try. I
I know
like,
you're a busy person, but
yeah,
I'm
I'm telling you, I
telling
like
you.
watching one show or one film and watching it over and over and over and over again because
Oh
I want
wow.
to like get like the full breakdown of the whole thing. So it becomes over time. It's now very difficult for me to watch so many shows. But yeah, if
Okay.
there's something that's highly recommended by someone, then I usually have to just go take a look at it so I can tell them, hey, I saw it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really interesting.
All right, so this session is almost coming to an end. Do you have a favorite quote that you would like to share with us? One that has highly impacted you in one way or the other?
My favorite quote is, "No one can be you, and that is your power."
I love that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
And any parting words, because this session is almost coming to an end, like I said. Any parting words with for our audience?
I just want, everyone to know that, just be mindful of your mental health. And especially when you're on social media, be mindful of what you're taking in, the kind of pages you follow, the kind of people you watch, because it definitely leaves a lasting impact on your, mind. Detoxing from social media is, another thing that is helpful for me. Sometimes I deactivate my account for 2 weeks and then I come back. But yeah, just being mindful of all these things. Yeah, exactly. There's so many ways to cope, even deleting the app off your phone for, a few days.
But do you think staying away for a while could make you, when you come back, become more addicted? Or do you think staying in there and just controlling yourself, controlling what you do?
Yeah, that's why I said I'll deactivate it and then I'll come back. But this is something I practice. So it's not like, I come back and have the same behavior. It's like, no, I come back, I'm on there for a little bit and then I leave again. So
Awesome.
it's just it's a routine practice that you have to, get down pat. You don't want to keep going and having the same addictive habits, so it's like, how do you break the addiction? That's really what I'm saying, how to cope with being so addicted. How do you break the addiction? It doesn't mean you got to stay away from it forever. A month is good, but maybe that's
the social media is not controlling you. You are in control.
Exactly. Have more control over, how much you use it, Don't let it call you. Let you go to it, kind of thing.
Yeah, some people, when they wake up, the first thing they do is put this picture. That's
I know.
And I think that's the most dangerous part. One of the things I learned from Jim Quick is that when you wake up, the first thing you do is not look at your phone. That's the first thing you do. Go do any other thing. Go take a shower, go run, go do some push-ups, but don't look at your phone, because it's like you are selling your sovereignty to your mobile device. So instead of you being in control of the day or being in your creative state, you're now putting yourself in the responsive state, whereby you're responding to text messages, responding to emails, responding to posts. So you don't have, so it's like you're depriving yourself of your mental creative power, so to
I
say.
agree.
Thank you for that parting word. Thank you for the parting word, and thank you for the advice. And I've been looking forward to this interview, and I'm finally glad that we've been able.
I know. Thank you for being patient with me.
Yeah, I'm glad, because it was explosive, it was insightful, and I know a lot of people will learn tons of information from this interview. How do we reach you if we want to reach out to you on social media?
My Instagram is a_comes_first. That's with the dot and a 1 ST. A comes first, and that's my personal page. And then my health page is beginning the journey. Yeah.
All right, audience. There will be a link in the description section below, and I just want to thank you again, Alimah. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
In this session, and I also want to appreciate you, audience, for staying to this very point in this video session. And until next time, when I'll be seeing you guys in the next video with another exciting guest, remember to always be your best self. Take care, everyone.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.